Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am super excited because there is a new patent and some paper trails happening out of Eufy. And it looks like there's a new pump coming to the market. Some of it is pretty much what we know from the S1 Pro, but it looks like they may be trying to make their own design, possibly. They've got a lot going on in the patents. Some of them look like maybe they're trying to make their own like design instead of the S32 body style, which would be really exciting. I would love for them to come up with something unique to them just to help them stand out in the market more. But also, it looks like they maybe fixed some of the original concerns from the S1 Pro. And if they maintain like the software and all of the app features that we have in this new pump, that's super exciting. But, and a big but, it looks like there's a possibility that they're trying to do vibration and heating, which if they are able to merge those, holy moly, that would be amazing. Especially because I actually have a lot of confidence in Eufy. If I was reading this patent out of Willow, I'd be like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. But so far, with all of the paper trails that I've ever seen out of Eufy and everything that they've brought to the market, I'm actually really excited because I think they may actually pull it off. All that to say, let's dig into the patent. Just a little caveat here. This is just a patent. They have at least 5 total. Some of them, it's kind of, that might be the S1 Pro, or it could be the S1 Pro plus a new pump, kind of right up. And that includes this patent that we're going to go through. Like, I can definitely see where some of this may have just been the first generation S1 Pro, and maybe this is going to just branch into something new. A lot of the other ones are also in Chinese, and while I can translate and read those, they're not the easiest to show on the interweb. Here's the patent. You can see the patent number if you want, but the photo of it, honestly, it kind of looks like the S1 Pro, where we're just stacking a motor on top, and there's nothing huge to like see in terms of breaking down all the numbers and what they mean from the patent details. Up here, it does look like they automatically put in a pour spout cap. This is kind of like if you cut the pump in half, what you're looking at here. One of the things that tells us that it is not the S1 Pro is the duckbill and the internals are completely reworked. So it looks like this is going to be coming up higher, and it's going to have a different type of diaphragm. But yeah, this is just kind of what they're showing for the inner workings. The duckbill is interesting because it looks like they've made quite a few tweaks and modifications to them. Here's another view of that where you can kind of see that it is off here to the side, and then we're looking at a completely different backflow protector there. But in terms of like the main parts assembly, it looks like it would be pretty similar to the S1 Pro. Possibly. It kind of depends on how they actually get everything to attach. Another look at things. They're reworking that duckbill, hopefully for better flow, because one of the main issues that you see out of the S1, the E10, the E20 is you'll get milk flow back here in this diaphragm because this is just not, the duckbill is just not draining fast enough. I think that's going to be the normal flange cap or cover or whatever that they do for like their lower model stuff. This should be the same, but again, we've got very clear, they're looking at a pour spout cap. This is a heating element, but in the S1 Pro, it's just kind of like an upside down horseshoe. This one is showing all the way around and almost like it spreads further out. So I'm wondering if they're optimizing that flange there and helping that cover more, which personally I would really like because we need a lot more heating on the actual side and like underside of the breast. So I'd love that. Still showing up here like a magnetic charging. So hopefully we wouldn't lose the case if we get a new pump. That's a fantastic feature too. This is already kind of showing a breakdown of what the internal hub should technically look like if they go with this design. But they would put a motor up under there. There's all your buttons and the under housing. They don't have like a really solid example, in my opinion, in the patent, which is fair. But this is, from what I can tell, different than the heating. It looks like it's possibly an additional flange feature, I guess. I'm not really sure how to word it, but maybe vibration. So here's a better photo. This is like our normal flange that I would assume has heating in it, but with its design all the way around. This looks like something additional that can be plugged in for power sourcing, and I think that's vibration, which would actually be really nice. Then this should be an additional like flange portion. The way I'm reading it and the way I'm seeing it, it would be like this flange, maybe there's some type of vibration going on, like a vibrating plate or something there. And then they would have it sandwiched in between like an additional flange portion that your breast goes up against. That way you're not like sitting up against the vibrating plate, I'm assuming. But yeah, very, very interesting. And again, that's with me assuming that they would merge the two. I would think they would. It reads as if they might. But I also, like, we've had a lot of companies struggle to bring these type of innovations to the market. This is the first page that we just went through. But then there's also, like, this page showing that horseshoe again, as if, like, that's the heating element. So, I don't know. Maybe to do both, we have a horseshoe heating element inside of the flange, and then this is stacked on top. I'm not sure. If it heated all the way around, personally, I would be super stoked for that. But even if it's just partially heated and you get vibration, that seems like a winning combo for me. It's really interesting because it's showing as if it's multiple layers to the flange. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. But personally, I think if they blended the two, if we had like an S1 Pro with vibrating features, I would buy that pump. I'm excited. I'm excited to see that. I don't currently have any evidence that this is in the makings. I don't know if it's actually on its way. I know that there are a lot of published patents. There's a few pending. All of them are kind of lining up and linking to this. So I am curious just to see, are they bringing out new things? I know that they're already leaking a bottle washer, which looks bigger and really nice. I'm actually really excited to see that release. Let me know how you would feel about a vibrating and heating wearable. I would personally be really excited for that. And especially if they got to continue the software that we're seeing with the S1 Pro. I did a huge review on that, but they've really knocked it out of the park in the industry on just their app features, and their software alone. So you add that with a properly heated and vibrated flange, I don't know what more we could really ask for. So let me know if there is more that you could think of to like merge into one pump. Drop it down in the comments. You never know what pump company is looking and what they might come up with. But yeah, hopefully you're just as excited as I am, and maybe 2026 we'll get even better innovation and pumps on the market, which we are desperately in need for. So stay tuned.